Good afternoon, teachers. Hope everybody's had a wonderful day. Just want to take a couple of minutes to go over our agenda as I do each week. The top of our agenda are our learning targets. I'll talk more about those in just a second. The first item on our agenda, though, is introductory videos. And for this week, I would like for you to view all of the introductory videos by your colleagues. As I stated last week, this is a way for us to build community and to get to know one another in this online class, to give us some connections personally and professionally to our classmates, and to give some context to our interactions with them. And I've provided my introductory video under number 1. I'd like for you to comment on 5 of your colleagues' videos, and I'd like you to have that completed by next Wednesday. By next Wednesday. The next item is 21st century literacies and new literacies. And this is just a recap, a summary of last week's readings. I think that last week's reading is a difficult read, and that's not to say that you had any trouble comprehending it. I just think it's a difficult read, and for me, and for that purpose, I wanted to just provide a summary of Liu's argument, Liu et al., their argument in that paper. So that's what's under that section. And TPACK ISTE number 3 is sort of the same. So, the 21st century literacy article talked about emerging new literacies that have been brought about by the technology. They talked a lot about the internet. The researchers, Liu and his colleagues, really broke it down into, they said there are multiple definitions of new literacies out there. They're going to focus on 2. One is the capital N, and the other one is the lowercase n. And then they discuss each of those at length throughout the rest of the article. We're actually going to focus this week on one of the particular skills associated with a lowercase n, and that is the online research and comprehension. Also had you read about TPACK. And so, as I said just a second ago, we're talking about the changes that have resulted. Liu refers to it as deictic, right? It's constantly, literacy is constantly changing now because technology is constantly changing. The way we read and write online, while sharing some similarities to traditional literacy, is also different. And because we're talking about technology, and because we're in the educational setting and we're teachers, the primary framework for that is TPACK. Okay, and that is a framework that was developed by 2 researchers from Michigan State, Mishra and Kohler, and they were building on the work of another researcher named Schulman. And Schulman developed a theory about how you should align the teaching method, your pedagogy, with what you're trying to teach. What Mishra and Kohler said is there's a third component to this diagram, the Venn diagram of 3 interlocking circles: technology, content, knowledge, and pedagogy. And they added that technology to Schulman's work on pedagogy and content. So what they're saying is, when we think about selecting a technology to teach in our classroom, we need to think about how that technology supports what we're teaching and what best practice shows about how we're teaching that, okay? And so I just kind of provided a brief overview of that reading and why it's relevant to our work here in this class, which is a literacy class, because this is a literacy class about how technology has impacted our understanding of and what it means to be literate in multiple ways, right? Whether it's in that traditional sense, whether it's in the sense that we need to be literate in our understanding of how to use technology, and understanding how technology has changed what it means to read and write online, or just through the use of technology. ISTE, of course, is the standards that were developed by the International Society for Technology and Education. It's the largest professional organization in the area of instructional technology. And so we're going to be focused on those in each of our lessons. So, number 4, reading and group work. So for our online literacy assignment, which I'm going to talk about in a second, which is what our learning targets have our focus on, you've already done the reading for that last week. Okay, Lou talks about those online skills, so 21st century skills we need, those gatekeeper skills of locating, evaluating, synthesizing, and then communicating information that we find on the internet. And you've already done that reading. So this week, what I've done is I've provided you with several levels of reading to prepare you, to help you prepare for completion of your online literacy assignment. The first resource that I've given you is several articles that demonstrate how you might teach these skills in your classroom. Second, I provide you with resources that I've gathered, and these are from a range of age groups from small to from K to 12, small kids to big kids, and these resources have a number of, or provide everything from just kind of graphics that you can use, to lessons that you can use, to videos that you can use, to games that you can use, all to teach these different skills. Okay. The final thing that I provide you with are some examples to give you, again, some context for this assignment. These are examples that were produced over the last couple of years by teachers in this class. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is to review those with to review those and then to come together with your colleagues and discuss which of those resources you think are the best and why, and then to talk also about how you're currently teaching these skills in your classroom. Okay, and I've got a Google document in there that I would like for you to see how that is. I've got a Google document in there that I would like for you to copy and paste into your own Google document, and then you're going to fill that out and you're going to share that with me. Okay, so next item is the online literacy assignment. And this is a lengthy assignment. I'm not going to go through all of the assignment, but essentially what you're going to do is you are going to create you're going to complete a three-part assignment. The first part of that assignment is to create a website, preferably using Google Sites, where you create an interactive student-centered lesson for your students. Now, I always have kindergarten teachers in here. I have first grade teachers, primary grade teachers on up to high school teachers. The goal ultimately is for it to be a student-centered. Obviously, if you've got a group of kindergarten students, it's going to probably be a teacher-directed lesson, right? But for folks who are out of the primary grades, you should be aiming towards a student-centered activity that they can go through kind of like a module, right? So a self-contained activity that they would interact with either individually or preferably with a partner online. Okay, and it's a detailed description of this assignment. And of course, if you have any questions, not only can you email me, call me, or text me, but next week on Monday from 5 to 6, I'm going to be available on Teams to talk with you about this assignment or anything else for that matter. Okay. Second part of the assignment is you're going to create a lesson. There are 8 steps of that lesson, 8 parts of that lesson, and you're going to create that. It's all going to be on your Google site. So one page is going to be your activity. The second page of your website is going to be your lesson. And then the third page is going to be a short written piece where you talk about how your lesson is aligned with ILA standards, how your lesson is aligned with ISTE standards, how your lesson is aligned with your content area, and so forth. And so you can look at that also. So there's a lengthy description. If you have any questions about it, please contact me. There's also a rubric there, how I'll be grading that. So please look over those. Okay, with the exception of the introductory videos, which is due next week, the group work and the online literacy assessment or online literacy assignment is due 2 weeks from now on the 16th. Okay, and that's based on feedback that I've gotten from students in the past who are in this class. They said that the 1 week turnaround was too quick. So that is a 2 week. So this lesson, this week, as you see at the top, says this Moodle posting is for weeks 2 and 3 for June 2nd and 9th. Okay, so I hope this provides you some clarification on what you're going to read. It's a very lengthy agenda for this week. And if you have any questions, again, call me, email me, text me. We'll get together on Teams, however you need to. Want to make sure that everything's clear. You're not floating out there without any support. I'm the support, and I'm available to you every day from 8 to 5 and beyond, based on just making a appointment, so that we can find a time after work hours to meet. Okay. So again, hope everybody's doing great. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. You're not required to come on Monday. It's just there if you have questions and want to meet, and I'm going to try to do that every week to answer questions. Okay. This is an asynchronous class. I'm trying to keep it asynchronous with the exception of you meeting with your groups. With that, it's a very light request. You have 2 weeks to get together with your group. So, but I'll be there if you on Monday to answer questions. Again, everybody have a good evening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.